A very good evening. I'm Aditi Lama and this is the Tuesday night edition of Vision of Asia. We're very excited to be reaching numerous organizations and members on our daily South Asian news segment in our efforts to inspire more voices and get even more heard. Do reach us if you have something to share with our community on any political, social or entertainment platform. Remember to email us on events@itvgold.com. On the show tonight, we have much on the ongoing impacts of policy and governance on Asian Americans, along with more highlights onto cultural and nonprofit sphere here in the US. So let's begin the segment for tonight, taking a look at the headlines. Asian American Federation and New York City Comptroller Stock Stringer hold press briefing on the impact of ICE in New York City. Upcoming Young Professional Spring Gala 2019 fundraiser Share and Care Foundation in New York. Kathak Ensemble and friends present We Sinful Women at the Dixon Place. More right after a show break. Stay with us on Vision of Asia, Voice of the Community. We'll be right back. And welcome again. I'm Aditi Lama and you're watching Vision of Asia, South Asian news segment. Beginning the show tonight on a political and socially relevant note, yesterday the Asian American Federation hosted a joint press briefing with New York City Comptroller Scott Stinger discussing the impact and growth of increased immigration enforcement on Asian American communities in New York City. With members of several community-based organizations present at the briefing, New York City Comptroller Scott Stinger revealed that the Asian New Yorkers are heavily impacted by upsurge in immigration and customs reinforcement arrests under the Trump administration, released in a recent report by the Comptroller's office titled The Demographics of Detention, Immigration Enforcement in NYC under Trump. We bring to you tonight our conversation with Scott Stinger and members of the Asian American Federation. Much was said on targeting and fear of South Asians. Let's take a look.
I want to thank the Asian American Federation. I also want to just say to all of you, in my view, that immigration reform is the defining issue of our time. And we do need to fight back against Trump's systematic racist agenda with a full force of local government and organizations like the Asian American Federation. This is why we're here this morning, because the way we fight back is through knowledge and fact. And to that end, I'm here today to share an analysis from my office which shows that New York City has seen a staggering increase in immigration enforcement compared to other major U.S. cities. Specifically, deportations in our city have grown by over 150% since 2017. That's an increase of over 1,500 New Yorkers per year who have been taken from their homes, separated from their families, their children, their communities, their jobs, with little certainty that they will ever return.
So, when you discussed this report with us today, for the immigrant community, that is at stake, that is in fear, that is perhaps now even more hesitant to come out and seek for help. What are your comments for that?
Well, look, I think the fight for the rights of immigrants is the cutting-edge civil rights issue of our time. We should do everything we can to ensure that New York City is a sanctuary city. Our report showed that deportations of immigrants are up 150%. Donald Trump is targeting New York City, targeting the fabric of being a sanctuary city. And so we are here today to let everybody knows the facts. And the facts are that there is targeting going on, innocent people being taken off the streets, people not safe in courthouses. And while we're making some change, it's clear that we have to do more. We need to fund community-based organizations. We need to enact driver's license reform for immigrants in Albany. And we have got to be vigilant every day. And I do think that people of all different backgrounds have to come together as one city and protect people who are vulnerable. And remember, just because they may not come for one group today doesn't mean they don't come for another group tomorrow. And we are in the same boat. And when you look at hate crimes of all different groups and the way this country is being divided by the administration, we have to come together. And that's why I'm here today. The horrific percentage increase puts New York City ahead of Boston, Detroit, Chicago, and New Orleans. And that's no accident. That is not simply coincidence. This is by design. New York City is Trump's target, and he's going after our neighbors from around the globe. In particular, Asian New Yorkers have been heavily impacted by the surge in ICE activity right here in New York. Asian New Yorkers comprise roughly 15% of the city's total population, but the majority of immigration court cases are about the Asian community.
The federation that's brought you here together has been working tirelessly on really advocating for Asian American rights and really bringing forth a voice that can make a difference. What do you have to say about their contribution for Asian Americans in general? And also, how do you think perhaps the media and the general public should help them and support them?
Well, we do need to make, funding decisions that will help people have a path to citizenship, that will give legal representation, whether you're Indian, a Bangladeshian, Asian American, South Asian, Muslim. We have to make sure that everyone has equal representation, because a lot of these fights are happening in courthouses. And my sense is, as the presidential campaign kicks off, the Trump people believe that more attacks on immigrants that further divide the country helps him. We have a different view of our society and of our country, and we want to fight back every step of the way. So as controller, I crunch those numbers. I look at the facts, and we try to move our data to inform people that the fight for immigration reform, to give everyone an opportunity to be in our country, there's nothing more important. These numbers have got to be a call to action, because the chilling reality is that our city is far from being a sanctuary city. And behind these numbers are real people fearing for their lives. We talked to some undocumented New Yorkers for this report. They told us about coming to this country some 2 months ago, some 20 years ago, in search of opportunity. They told us about the struggle of finding medical care and shelter, and their fear of being taken from their children. What's more, in places like New York, going after immigrants is going after the heart of the city.
For you, what does this year represent in terms of political rhetoric, in terms of getting agendas done? What is going to be your top priority?
Look, immigration, the rights of immigrants in this city, the fact that 40% of people who live in New York come from somewhere else, which I think is just the greatest part of our city. When you look at the cultures and you go through our boroughs and you see different people living side by side, this is an international experience, and we've got to protect that New York City experience. That's why people come here, because they respect and love our diversity, and we should not let the haters come in and change our way of life. We may not have to always agree with each other, but we always respect each other. And that is how we live together. And that has been the tradition of the city that I was born and raised. And I'm going to do everything I can so that my little kids can have that same experience, living with people of all different backgrounds, going to school with people of all different backgrounds. What a great opportunity they have at the age of 7 and 5.5. And I've got skin in that game. I want to make sure that all children have that opportunity.
Let's now take a look at a recent showcase, We Sinful Women, presented by the Kathak Ensemble and Friends in New York at the popular Dixon Place. Taking its name from a collection of feminist poetry, the production We Sinful Women gives voice in melody and movement to the words of Pakistani Urdu feminist poets Ishrat Afreen, Kishwar Naheed, Zahra Nigah and Famia Riza. The Kathak Ensemble presented the poetry through classical performance arts, showcasing emotions of confrontational anger and lyricism. The production embodied the outrage and tenderness encapsulated in concentrated language of poetry and dance. Let's take a look at some highlights.
It was a beautiful performance. It brought to life the moods of some of the most excellent Pakistani feminist poetry from the 1970s and later. And we're very proud of Janaki Patrick and her crew of Kathak dancers, and very grateful to them for bringing us this performance.
But the poem that Janaki asked me to think about especially is called Anti-Clockwise, and it's the one about the body parts, even if my eyes are destroyed, even if my nose is destroyed. And it rests partly on being a kind of parody or takeoff on a genre which goes way back. It goes in Indic terms back into Sanskrit. And interestingly, in that tradition, it's called Nakshik Varnan, literally toenail head, or toenail crown of head description. And the beloved is described, or a handsome prince is described, going right up the body, starting with their beautiful feet and their beautiful ankles and so forth, and ending up with their beautiful face and their beautiful hair. In the Islamic side, in the Persian side, and the Urdu side, it's called sarapa. Sar is head and pa is foot, so head to foot. So either way you describe it, it's a really important genre, and it's definitely sequential. That's one thing that you can say about it. Sometimes it's quite erotic. When you get to the middle of the body, you have plenty of scope of describing the beloved's wonderful erotic charms. But other times you can just jump discreetly over and say they're indescribable.
This is very, very great poetry that's it's not just limited to Pakistan. It's not just limited to India. It is about womanhood and humanhood. It's really, these poems are just glorious, and they're really universal, talking about the universe and spirituality, really. I thought I had no right. I'm not, how can I criticize? I mean, my ethnicity is such that I didn't feel I had the right to be pointing at those whom we're always putting down, in European, Anglo-European. So, and I thought, and what right particularly, because we haven't done anything. We still haven't done anything about it, but the problems are still there, the poetry is still great, so I went ahead. But I have many productions lined up here, ready for several lifetimes. I'm not sure, but certainly feminism needs a very loud voice.
Magical eyes, lashes darts, your glance spears. Oh, the playful look in your eye pleases my heart so much.
I think that it's like a first of its kind that has been done, particularly in New York. This is the first time that South Asian poetry has been put into music and into dance. And the dancers were fabulous. It was enlightening. It was wonderful.
Time for the show break. Stay with us in Vision of Asia. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're watching Vision of Asia, bringing you prime South Asian highlights from all across. We now have an exclusive get-to-know segment featuring members from the Young Professionals Committee of ITV Go's longtime partner and a great nonprofit, the Share and Care Foundation. On May 2nd, in New York City, the Young Professionals Committee will be hosting its 2019 Spring Gala fundraiser at the Common Ground starting 8 p.m. The gala will be hosting young professionals and pioneers from the tri-state area. This year, Share and Care Foundation is working tirelessly to empower more accessibility and education in rural India, marginalized communities, and promote essential human rights for healthcare and gender equality. We spoke to Aditi Vyas and Pia Sani from the foundation. Let's take a look. So today, I bring these amazing two ladies to talk to us about what the event is and how you and I can get involved. So ladies, just opening up the floor right now to, starting this interview. Share and Care is a beautiful foundation that has worked tirelessly over the last 36 years to really empower and build rural India. So just starting off this interview, what truly inspired you to sort of create this Young Professionals Committee and this event that sort of is like your spring gala, spring fundraiser? What sort of brought in the idea to sort of bring that together to sort of introduce the committee?
Well, you see, so the organization has been around for 36 years, and my family has been involved before, and there were a lot of young people attending their gala and other events because their families were involved. So a group of them had created this committee a few years ago and had successful events, but at that time a lot of us were in school, we were younger, we weren't part of the organization in a way that we could contribute to plan events and fundraise effectively. And so recently someone from the organization had reached out and asked if we would get it started up again. And the cause is so incredible, we decided that we definitely wanted to do it and come in with a bang and put on an event and really just raise awareness so more young people would get involved with the organization.
Right. And Pia, what sort of inspired you to join the cause and be a part of this committee? There's a lot of work that's being done for this upcoming fundraiser, but what sort of inspired you?
Totally. So I was introduced to Aditi at one of my shows last year at an art gallery, and I immediately connected with her right away, and I told her how, despite doing art, I wanted to incorporate philanthropy as a part of it. And she told me about Share and Care and the YPC, and that they were going to start up this gala, which is now around the corner. And she said, why don't you get involved art-wise? So I sat in one meeting and immediately went from like, yes, I'm going to help out and make this like a beautiful event and do art for it, but I want to do more and be a part of it because everyone was like incredible, so hardworking. They knew their stuff, and it was just this energy that was like really fun and ambitious, and yeah.
So Aditi, what are we looking at when we're looking at this event, which is happening next week? And also, what kind of professionals are you particularly looking to interact with over there?
So the idea of the event is to really just raise awareness for the main causes that Share and Care supports. And what they are: women's empowerment, healthcare, and education. And those are all causes that no matter where you live around the world, you can get behind. And those are things that we really should focus our extra energy on when we have some. And so what we were looking to do is get the young people of the tri-state area. You don't have to live in New York City to attend. And while learning more about the cause, you'd be meeting other like-minded individuals who also have a passion for this type of charity work while pursuing their other careers, which could be, P as an artist, I work in film, many other members of the community and our own committee are in business, finance, whatever it may be, but you're also passionate about giving back. And so the event is for people who are 21 and up in the tri-state area. And what they get is an evening of all-you-can-eat food and drink with a surprise performance, raffle items, just mingling and meeting other people.
What's your own take, on having more South Asian young professionals, such as what we're talking about here, be a part of charities? And also, what do you think they will gain out of a foundation such as Share and Care?
Yeah, I mean, I think when we're young too, we might think we can't give back as much as we want to, maybe because we're working, we don't have a lot of money to spare. So we kind of forget that we can offer our time and join a community where it's not just about what's in your wallet that can help give back, but really just your energy and spirit and like spending some time to think about the cause. So yeah, like even though the team has a bunch of people, everyone has their role and is important. Like we can't do it without everyone's help and energy, and I think it's a very empowering feeling too as a person, and then that feeling is also going out into the world to make a difference.
You know, when we're talking about such a beautiful charity, and you know, you're the chairwoman for the Young Professionals Committee, what do you think this charity sort of represents for the marginalized communities that it's helping back in India? You know, for all the work that Share and Care has done and all your journey with it, what do you think all of the money that goes into the charity and all of these events, you know, what do you think these mean for those people?
I think at the end of the day, it's not about the events that we put on.
Right.
It's more about the work that we're doing.
Exactly.
But the events lead to the awareness of the impact that this work has on these communities. Because not only are we just giving to the community, we're working with them so they empower themselves. We are not just handing them a bunch of cash saying, here, we have more than you, here, take it. No, they are on the ground with the people that the money is going to and affecting and really working with them so they're going to be completely self-sufficient. And I think that's such an incredible thing.
You know, what would you say to the South Asian youth that could be watching you both right now on ITV Gold or other platforms about this event, or just, you know, about their impact in the nonprofit world?
I think what's really unique about Share and Care and why we choose to get involved with organizations like this are when you're young, you look at a lot of organizations and you don't know where the money is going. And what drew me to this organization in particular is I know exactly where every single dollar that is being donated is going. They're extremely transparent about how much they fundraise and how much money they spend, and almost every single person, including our whole committee who works with them, is all volunteer. And that's how you know that it's really just like the passion and the just drive that is making people want to work for this organization, because they're passionate about the cause. And I think that really in particular like impassions a lot of people who want to get involved, because you know where your time and money is going here. And what's confusing for us is there's so many organizations to choose from as young people, and there's no guide, and what they do provide you is just such transparency that you're ready to get involved because you know exactly what you're doing.
And where can we find more information about this event and even Share and Care? I'm sure some of the viewers, some of the parents even that are watching us would like to get to know some more information about this event. Again, it is happening in New York City, everyone, at a place called the Common Ground. But Aditi, a little bit more information into it, that'd be really great.
Yeah, so if you're interested in learning about Share and Care, just go to their website, which is shareandcare.org. If you want to learn more about the event, you can click on the events tab, and right there will say Spring Cocktail Fundraiser hosted by the YPC. And underneath all of that, there's information to buy tickets, which are on sale until the event date of May 2nd. The event is lasting from 8 to 10 p.m., so it's quick, and you can find all the information about the brands who have donated for the raffle, the food donors, everyone who's getting together for this awesome cause.
This is all for the South Asian News segment for tonight. Send us your suggestions to get your voices and organizations on our show, or if you have any comments about the ongoing Indian General Elections 2019, email us on events@itvgold.com or follow us on our Facebook handle @itvgold. Remember to also now subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch many of our popular shows for free. Thank you for tuning in tonight. This is Vision of Asia and I'm Aditi Lamba. Take care and be well.